What's up guys, Devin here from American Aquarium. Thank you so much again for tuning in to this video about the 10 pros and cons to using a sponge filter, why they're great and why they're also not so great. Before we get into it, I want to ask that if you are considering purchasing a sponge filter, please think of American Aquarium products. We are the leading distributor of the AAP, ATI, Hydro Sponge and Filter Max. If you think that you might be saving a few bucks by going to a discounter like Amazon, know that if you are getting a better price, which sometimes doesn't happen, there could be issues with the quality of the product, there could be missing a product, and then all of a sudden Amazon's going to direct you our way to fix the problem anyways. And plus, if you're considering a discounter type sponge filter, know there is a large difference where these sponges can hold 5 times the amount, plus they're not going to drop the load into your aquarium when trying to go to clean them. There is a difference. Plus, these are patent US built, where the Chinese ones are patent infringing of this brand here. So there's a lot of reasons to support this brand. We also give you guys a ton of information on how to use these things, some tips, tricks, so please consider American Aquarium products. Number 1. A hydro sponge in the aquarium is a much better choice for something like a planted aquarium. They are excellent at preserving the CO2 in the tank so it's not being driven off by other forms of filtration. Number 2, pro. The sponge filter has a huge advantage for shrimp and breeder tanks. They are gentle with the flow, so they're not going to thrash around the inhabitants, but they also protect the inhabitants from being sucked into intakes. The shrimp and the fry love to feed on sponge filters. You'll see them always hang out on the sponge. Number 3, the sponge filter is a perfect choice for a betta bowl. It has a high amount of biological filtration that will always keep the water safe, but also a low turbidity, so it's not going to thrash around the fish, causing other issues, not causing stress that make them start to have the common issues like betta fin rot. Number 4, a big pro. The amount of filtration that you can get from your sponge filter is superior to so many other filtrations out there. Even for large aquariums, if you use the largest sponge or even pair them with 2 together, or having redundant sponges in the aquarium, along with even using them with other filtration, you get a huge amount of biological filtration that will keep even large tanks cycled. Number 5, another pro. Some people consider maybe a wet-dry filter or a canister filter to be the end-all filtration of what you can do with it and how much you are getting. These being paired with those systems, or them even standing alone by themselves, still, pound for pound, our tests have shown to outperform these filters for how much they can actually keep cycled and keep the water safe. So the pro is actually coming back to the simplicity of the sponge filter. They're easy to clean, easy to use, and they filter so much. The amount of maintenance is way less than so many other filters. When you consider cost, simplicity to set up, simplicity to maintain, these are a very serious option for easy filtration. Number 6, the sponge filter also comes in a pre-filter, as in it can attach to pumps and hang on the back systems. It supercharges filters that you already have, and if you have this sponge as a pre-filter and another form of filtration, you are now having redundant filters where if something were to go wrong, you have a backup. They're easy to pull the sponge off and seed a new tank. Plus, when you're doing maintenance, you clean one filter, and then the next time you clean the next filter, so you're always assuring there's a high amount of biological filtration. Number 7, which is a pro, but also a con. The sponge filter provides great biological filtration, but only some mechanical filtration. So it can pull debris from the water column, but it doesn't do it as well as some of the other filters. So consider a couple options. Use a coarser sponge for gathering larger debris in the aquarium. Use the finer sponge to help polish the water. And then if you can even pair it with something else like a hang on the back or a canister, you're able to remove so much more. We also provide combo kits where you can have a coarse and a fine filter together, and these provide the best of both worlds. Number 8 is what we'd consider a little bit of a con of the sponge filter. They do not provide chemical filtration. Now here's a little asterisk about this. When you have a properly set up aquarium that's filtered correctly, it's being healthy, has a balanced system, you shouldn't really need chemical filtration. But there's really no way to add chemical filtration to this filter system like, say, a canister or a hang on the back. There is some workaround where you could take some chemical filtration and just rubber band it around the sponge, but it's not getting utilized optimally. Number 9 is a con, and it's probably the biggest and most obvious reason some people have a problem with a sponge filter, but it's not aesthetically pleasing. This goes in the aquarium or in a sump location, but if it's in the aquarium, it's something you can see. It's not as discreet, it's just an intake pipe. So while saying that as a con, it is relatively easy to hide these in back corners, out of sight, behind some plants, behind some rock. When all things considered, even though it is a con, it is kind of easy to hide them. Number 10, we're going to end it with a pro, is the fact that when you buy a sponge filter, and we also provide sponge filter kits, they hands down are more superior than another filter kit that you can purchase in a, say, a big box store or offline at a discounter store. So pound for pound, and how easy they are to maintain. If you're just starting out, you're a beginner, if you're looking for an aquarium kit, these actually provide so much more than a kit that's going to provide you with some cartridges and some chemical filtrations. It becomes actually just less expensive and more efficient to consider buying a premium sponge filter in a kit by itself. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video about the 10 pros and cons of the AAP ATI sponge filters. Thank you so much for taking a look at this video. Please consider taking a look at our written information on our website in the description below. And again, one last time, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.